Have you ever felt your heart sink as the person you love pulls away, and every effort to change it only seems to make it worse? This was my reality too, until I uncovered the secret to fixing it. And this often overlooked secret is actually the key to unlocking the lasting connections you're searching for. So in this video, I'm going to show you the surprising mistake that pushes people further away, the simple and easy way to avoid it, and the secret to attracting the deep and lasting connections you're looking for. Let's start by uncovering the shocking mistake that most people are making without even realizing it. This cup represents you. The water inside the cup is your emotional currency, love and connection. The water level shows you how much energy and emotion you have to give. Now there's also a danger line, and if the water drops below this line, your body goes into emergency mode. It signals to you that something is very wrong. Without enough emotional currency, you start to feel anxious, worried, because you don't feel safe. Now, this cup represents your partner or romantic interest. Each person pours love into each other. Everything's good. But what happens when somebody pulls away? When you feel them distancing, those alarm bells go off inside your body. Your body senses a threat to your emotional supply, and your mind goes into overdrive trying to fix it. Now, you may send them a text, think of a reason to call them, or you might plan to do something nice for them so they remember you and want to get closer to you. You're trying to reestablish this connection so you feel safe. Now, doing this once isn't a big deal, but it becomes a problem when it happens a lot. And it can look like you spending your entire day helping them fix their life when it means you can't do what you need to do in your own life. And they're not even there to help you with that. And it could also look like not speaking up your needs or preferences so you don't upset the relationship. Each and every time you're pouring your emotional energy into their cup, but the real issue is your cup is being drained and not being refilled. The biggest mistake people make is putting the other person's needs above their own. Because it can feel like if you speak up, have a different point, they're going to leave you. And if they leave you, you won't have what you need. And as you continue to pour out more and more of your cup, it empties that water line down into dangerous levels. And then panic sets in. And your instinct is to push harder to connect with them. As you try to get this connection, it pushes them further away, repeating this vicious cycle, leaving you exhausted and disconnected. So how can you break free of this painful pattern? Imagine you're cooking dinner and suddenly a fire breaks out on the stove. Flames are shooting up and the alarm bell is ringing. In that moment, your entire focus is to put out that fire, turn off that blasting alarm, and ultimately keep yourself safe. Well, this is the exact strategy you will need to use to break free from the cycle I just showed you. But how can you do that? You're going to need to tend to your nervous system to turn off your internal danger alarm. And one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck in this cycle is they are overthinking but under-feeling. To break free, we'll use exercises and techniques that communicate directly to your body that you are safe. These techniques are critical because they tell your body you're safe, shutting off that fire alarm that instinctively goes off when somebody distances themselves. If your body stays in panic state, you'll be in a survival brain because of that perceived threat to your basic needs. And when you're in survival brain, which is called your limbic brain, you lose half your IQ. So you'll make more impulsive decisions, then quickly become more panicked, and ultimately slip deeper into this cycle. When your body senses you're safe, it signals to your brain to stop the panic. Your nervous system returns to a calm, regulated state just like putting out that fire and silencing the alarm, allowing you to be fully present. This is the gateway to the deep connection you're looking for. The safer you feel, the better you can respond as your adult self, prioritizing yourself rather than reacting from a place of fear. Now, this first technique I'm going to show you comes from Dr. Peter Levine, who is a leading expert in trauma, and he calls this the VOO technique. It's simple. It can be done anywhere, at home, in the car. I've actually done this while shopping for groceries. And all you do, you take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, you make the sound VOO. It sounds like this. VOO. Now, if you want, you can actually alter the sound, which would sound like wow. And if it's possible for you to close your eyes and focus inwardly, that massively helps. Now, repeating this for 2 minutes can massively affect your nervous system. Why? Because the vibrations from your VOO sound is actually stimulating your vagus nerve, which is the main nerve responsible for calming your nervous system and shifting you in to rest and digest. Now, this next exercise I want to show you is very powerful, and you'll want to close your eyes, be it in a quiet space, and all you're going to do is wrap one arm around the other, hugging yourself. And again, you keep your eyes closed, and slow and steady breaths. And as an added bonus, you can actually combine the VOO as you self-hug. VOO. Now, I want to show you one more technique that's going to help you break out of that cycle of chasing and feeling desperate for that other person's response. It's going to allow you to ground yourself. And this is simply to gently bounce. This gentle bounce allows your body to release anxiety and tension. This physical movement helps you to release the buildup of energy and allows your body to put out the fire and allow the smoke to clear. And as the tension and fear clears, you can see the situation current day as it really is, without the alarms clouding your judgment and perspective. But next, I need to show you something that you're overlooking that is making it impossible for you to attract people who can actually pour back into your cup. Now, there are 2 main reasons for this, and let me show you what I mean. First, when you're always extending and chasing the other person, it's impossible for anyone to come to you because they're backing away as you get closer to them. When you move into their space and they move away, which is the opposite of attracting. Now, the second reason that you're not able to attract somebody who can pour back into your cup is even if somebody wants to connect with you, if you're not connected to yourself, you can't receive it. You're not there in your own realm. And even if they're pouring towards you, nothing goes in to pull you past that danger point. So how can you fix this? You're going to have to understand what you really need in the moments when somebody is emotionally distancing themselves. It can feel like it's them that you need, which makes you just have the urge to chase them. But when you understand what you really need, it's going to break you out of this habit. And it's just like pouring water back into your cup as you understand what you really need in that moment. Now, this actually creates space to make you magnetic. You're always going to get a reflection in your life based on how you treat yourself. So pouring into your own cup helps you become more magnetic to other people who actually have the ability to do the same. But how can you do this? The reason you find yourself drained and caught up in other people's energy is that you've attached your sense of fulfillment to that other person. You see them as your sole source of meeting your needs, that love and connection and happiness. When you aren't connected with them, it feels like you're cut off from the emotional water you so desperately need as a human being. The turning point for me was understanding my own needs. Once I recognized and began to honor my own emotional needs, I stopped relying on this other person solely to fill my cup. This shift allowed me to break free from this cycle and actually attract people who are able to meet me halfway so we can then pour into each other's cup, creating an equal exchange of energy. And since I wasn't scared to be myself, I was able to fully show up as me, which allowed others to see me and love me even more deeply. And this was exactly the connection I had been trying so hard my entire life to attain. But in order for you to completely break out of this cycle, you need some tools. So in this next video, I'm going to show you the game-changing process that I use to help me break free from this loop so you can create the consistent love you are looking for. So check it out right here.